I would say Aoife, we were young having the girls, but when we'd Aoife, we were that bit older and I'd say a bit wiser maybe. She had the biggest head of black hair when she was born.
Yeah. Stunning baby.
She was, and Aoife was the first that we brought home. The other two, Megan and Kate, came home to Mom's with me. And when Aoife was born, we actually had her home. We
done everything with her, yeah. She came everywhere with us.
Yeah.
Came for the Sunday drives with us, done absolutely everything.
Yeah.
She was a cool kid.
Yeah.
Really was.
Until she got to first year. She didn't want Mum and Dad no more.
No.
No.
But she still came on holidays.
She did, but she started getting more into the makeup and the clothes and the friends, and she was a good kid, and
she had a heart of gold. She really had.
Yeah.
She really had.
Yeah, even saying had like is tough.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you mind going back to that time when she first got ill in December 22?
Yeah. Yeah. It was a Saturday, and actually we were preparing. My mum's anniversary mass was that evening, and we were at home, and Aoife she'd had her shower and stuff and went back in kind of on her phone.
To her bedroom,
and we'd started doing dinner, and she's text down to us that she wanted a drink, and paracetamol brought up that she was feeling unwell. So we done that, and then we done the dinner, and as time went on, she was starting to vomit, and her temperature was quite high. So we made the decision to ring Shannon Doc, because it was a Saturday, we couldn't go to our local GP. And James, then you went to...
I went straight to the Shannon Doc, which is maybe 10 minutes from my house. Put Aoife into the car, went straight down to him, brought Aoife in, and he examined her. I'd say we spent maybe 10, 15 minutes with him. And what he said to me was, he goes, I don't know what your next move is, but I recommend you go straight into the hospital in Limerick with Aoife. And he wrote a refer letter. I took the letter, I came out, put Aoife into the car. Aoife was still chatting away and we were having the banter, as we called it. And
I suppose just as we were in the car, I did open the refer letter, because as a parent, you kind of want to see what they wrote on it. And I wasn't there with them either, like at the doctor's. So I did spot viral septicemia on it, and it did raise a bit of it did raise a flag. It was like, God. So when I checked Aoife in, Aoife kind of lay on the couch. I did, when I handed over the letter now, I did say, checking in, she's quite unwell and you'll see in the letter. So that's obviously all where I could leave it with her, because you're only kind of checking in at the reception area.
In the emergency department? In
the emergency department, sorry, yeah. So we sat there, James parked and came in, and then it was just the waiting game. Now, during that time, like, Aoife was showing me pictures of grad dresses. She was sick, like, she was thrown down, but she was still talking. So then, as time passed, she was called in to triage then. So I went in with her, James waited outside. So the nurse took her details and done a few checks with her and basically said I'd bring her to zone A. Okay, and then there was a trail of people in front of her. And I did comment, I says, God, you can't leave her here, like, she's just so unwell. So we were brought down to a room, which I would say was like PPE, like a gear, kind of a storagey kind of a room. So there was no trolley or bed in there. So what we done was...
She was in a wheelchair.
She was in the wheelchair, so there was another chair in there. So what we done was like a makeshift just for her to kind of get comfortable in some way. The only thing I could say, Miriam, is the night was basically nurses coming in and out to Aoife. Her temperature was continually to stay high. Her skin was pure blotchy and still vomiting. Nothing like had changed, and she had been put on a drip for, I think it was paracetamol and for fluids, and nothing was working, like nothing was changing. We
were just left in the room, the three of us. All night, really. I was out.
Going in and out.
The two of us were going in and out, begging for help. Really, really was begging for help. I mean, it came to a
We
point
were
that
worried, yeah.
it came to a point that we were arguing amongst ourselves that I was going, you go out next, Carl, and you were saying no about we'd been out, because we felt like we were bothering the staff outside, because we just kept going in, and I kept saying, please help us, like,
Yeah.
really need help. She's very, very sick. And there was other patients on trolleys, lying on trolleys, and they were shouting for Aoife. Nothing was working for her. Nothing. It was just, she had a terrible
Yeah,
day.
I say, like, could have treated her at home with these paracetamol they were giving her, you know.
But like you were going out, James, weren't you? You were both going out.
It was like, to us, we felt Aoife was the sickest in that area. To us, we did feel that way.
All the signs were there. I didn't know anything about sepsis. Now I know everything about it. But when these nurses and whatever were coming in, they just didn't pick up on it. Like, they
Yeah.
didn't. All the signs were there, but they never thought, geez, there's something seriously wrong here. Like, and the doctor never ever came anywhere near us. Like, until whatever time.
You know, nurses were coming into Aoife, so like that's their job. Like, they should have really. We feel they should have done more for Aoife.
I went out and let a big roar out, cursing and everything, that you need to go in there and help my daughter. But because we knew that she was seriously ill, just seriously ill.
She was barely
And that's when they
standing,
seemed to make a bit of a move, come in, 2 or 3 of them, and
Yeah.
that's when things kicked off. But it was just way, way too late. There's not a day that goes by that I don't blame myself for not doing more later on like during the night, and I just didn't think she was going to die. Like, if I had known, I would have torn the place apart. But I just didn't think like that she was going to die on us. I really didn't.
Well, you were trusting you were in the right place.
Well, it's a hospital.
Yeah.
And that's where you go when you're sick. I suppose, like, Aoife's nearly gone 2 years, and myself and James and the kids, we've been very quiet about what happened to Aoife, as in we've never really spoke much about it, but we're angry now as well, you know, we are, because we're thinking back about everything that's gone on in the inquest and everything, and we expect a bit more answers, I think, Miriam, from the hospital, definitely.
It's had a big toll on us, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Us and the extended family, like, mentally and physically, like, just, it's been so bad. Like, we just can't even go into her bedroom. Like, her bedroom door's just been locked since she's passed. We just never been in there.
Yeah.
Just cannot do it, like.
When did she see a doctor? So you got in there that evening. I mean, are you saying she didn't see a doctor for hours?
Till after 6 in the morning, the doctor came in, and straight away we think it could be meningitis, and started her on the medication that she would have needed, but she would needed that hours earlier.
That was the first time she saw a doctor.
Yes.
They gave Aoife her medicine.
They'd started.
They had started it on, and it was just not making. He came in, gave it to her, but it was making no improvement. And an hour passed, and I just thought, enough is enough. And I went out and I lost the plot, basically. Started shouting that you need to get in there and help my effing daughter. But that's when, in my eyes, they started to get a move on, didn't they?
They come in, and within 2 minutes, like,
Aoife was kind of making wailing sounds and like fitting out, and I was told to hold down her legs, and you were told to hold down her arms. This is our daughter, like, while they were trying to get these machines hooked up to her, like, and Aoife, and they kept telling us to talk to her, but Aoife was gone. She was just gone. It was horrible.
and
She had
that's
a
another
horrible
thing
day,
we feel like, you know, we were scared. So we think, well, how was Aoife feeling?
Yeah.
What was going on in Aoife's? What was her last thoughts?
So it was after you went out, James, screaming, saying, "You've got to help my daughter." A few moments later, they came in, and she was in resus very soon after that.
Oh, within a few minutes.
Yeah.
So she was critically ill at that
So
stage.
I would assume whatever they had seen, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
when they witnessed Aoife, they knew she needed to go straight away. Yeah.
It was just way too late.
Yeah.
They should have done that hours ago.
Yeah.
They should have, like, especially when like I said, the Shannon doc noticed it, like.
Yeah.
When did you realise you were losing Aoife?
I think when we went to resus, we knew there was something really, really wrong with Aoife. But I suppose we didn't think, we still never thought Aoife was going to die. I know they put her into an induced coma. They told us they'd have to relieve a bit of pressure, you know, on her brain and start getting the medicine working. So that's why they put her into the coma. And then I think about half an hour later, we were told that basically that it had gotten, the swelling on the brain had actually, you know, increased within the small time frame of the first scan. Then we were in the waiting area in ICU, and I think around 6 doctors come in, and I remember my sister was beside me, and I said to her, she's gone, like. So I knew that I knew there was no hope then when I seen them coming in. So I know James begged them. He said, just please beg someone to take her and try, you know, try their best for her. But they couldn't. So that was it then. Aoife was gone.
What were you saying to them, James, to keep trying?
Yeah, I was begging him, please, just tell him she needs to get to Cork or Dublin, please.
Just ask them to take her and try.
Try it. Just at least try for Aoife, please, just try. They said there was nothing at all they could do. It's terrible.
So we just spent as much time in ICU with her as we could then, and talking to her, and family came into her and her friends, and just spent the last time with her.
Now do you both feel just incredibly sad, or is it also mixed with anger?
I think a combination of both. Myself and James find it very difficult to look at pictures of Aoife or videos of Aoife still. It's sad, like, to think that.
It is.
I do firmly believe that if Aoife was in a different hospital, she would have survived that night.
The recent report, the Frank Clark report, has that helped at all?
No.
Not in the slightest.
No, nothing new has come from that report. We had expected a lot more from that report, a lot more findings of accountability, and which, by the way, we don't know who is being held. Like,
what do you think, James?
I think it was pointless, really. We didn't get anything out of it that we didn't know already. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it was pointless.
What would you like to see happen now? Have you got any answers yet about why Aoife died or what happened that night?
No, not really. I mean, I know, like, from the report and from any other investigation, a lot of it goes back to overcrowding. I suppose us as Aoife's parents, it's very hard to accept that on the night it went wrong in other ways, not just through overcrowding. Aoife was missed.
How are you now?
I don't, like when Aoife died, we, you know, a part of us, we definitely died with Aoife. Like, our life has totally changed, like, for the worse, like, definitely. And that is, I can't see, I don't see happy days coming. I can't see them. We try our best, we try and just take each day, Miriam, as it comes, but it's very sad, it's lonely, it's different, it's quiet. She was about to, you know, do her leave insert, go on, start onto a new chapter of life, and, you know, we see all her friends have moved on to those stages, and it's hard, like, and, you know, because you do think, oh God, I wonder what Aoife would be doing now, or, you know, it's always, I wonder, yeah.
We celebrated her 18th birthday up in the graveyard with all her friends, letting off balloons. Just think, it's
Yeah.
madness. Poor kid.
Yeah.